What inspires change? What motivates us? It's what's inside that moves us. What moves you? Get the Scion story at scion.com.
The legislature went into special session today at the request of Governor Calvo in order to deal with a bill that the governor calls urgent. Bill 1-2S would authorize the Guam International Airport Authority to issue new revenue bonds to refund prior bonds that GIAA has already sold. GIAA, the Guam Economic Development Authority, and the governor's office say that if the airport doesn't refund its 2003 bonds and doesn't issue a call of notice to current bondholders by August 30th, then they'll have no choice but to pay out the $820,000 in bond insurance payments. But several lawmakers questioned the urgency of this special session, especially since a public hearing was already scheduled for the bill on August 6th.
We would have been done by the 16th, and I'm sure since we were going to be in session during that week anyway, we could address this bill and have it out by the 30th of August. And we have to have the public input on this because this is huge. And the committee would be able to do this in a timely fashion were we given the time to have it on the 6th, and we would still have this out before the 30th, long before the 30th.
Senator Cruz Duenas, however, agrees that the special session is necessary and says the legislature had more than enough time to hold a public hearing by now.
60 days is a long time, particularly when in that same 60 days or within that same quarter or two, we've seen an entire point, I believe, change in market rates. And yes, it's $250 million. $250 million amortized for possibly the next 30 years, and a change of a point means millions of dollars.
Senator Frank Aguon Jr. and Senator Nicolas also questioned the need for the special session.
We have to be very careful about pursuing cost advantages at the expense of public input, at the expense of committee input, at the expense of the participation of our community when it comes to borrowing $250 million against our airport, when in fact the public hearing for the proposed legislation is within 5 days. The reality is it's going to boil down to some of the comments that are shared with us today. What is the time urgency?
However, GEDA's Lester Carlson defended the need for the swift passage of the bill.
Why are we here today? We're here today because we're looking for certainty now so that we can proceed and we can work to best structure, given the interest rate environments and given other hurdles that we're going to have to do with marketing and other issues. Airport credits are not easy credits. Airports are susceptible to, ebbs and flows of tourist arrivals.
Which is why Carlson says that GEDA and the airport need this authorization immediately so they can immediately begin working on the refunding of these bonds, which would result in a savings of debt service or debt payments.
Currently, the airport authority pays $18+ million in annual debt service. The refunding only will produce a reduced debt service in the neighborhood of in excess of $1.6 million a year.